What's going on, guys? I'm Duvall.
I'm Gavin,
And I'm Saint.
and today we're going to show you the in-depth, behind-the-scenes thoughts and processing of how we made our new single, Starlight.
So Starlight is a very special record to us. I made it about 2 years ago. Started off with Callum George and Stevie Appleton on my birthday, actually. And I was going to do it for a solo project that I've got in mind under Saint. But then when me and Disciples, the two boys, got back in the studio, I actually thought the record worked better for all three of us because it had that funk element. It had the guitars. It had that heavy kick and clap, the original They Don't Know Daylight type sound, and it would be illegal to not give it to Disciples as a whole. Like, it just embodies all three of us. So as soon as I played it to the boys, they were just like, yep, on it, let's do it. So after the boys completely scrapped my beat and started again, they kept the guitars, which was amazing because Stevie absolutely smashed that. When me and Callum first started on the idea, literally it was just single notes that we was playing on the piano, so we can reference to Stevie so he could play it in. So he absolutely killed that. And from there, the boys just worked on it tirelessly with me, and we just went ape shit really. And then it came out as a sick funk disco record. The writing process for Starlight came around simple. Once you got a melody, once we came up with that single key piano melody for a guitar, me and Callum just started singing like, in heaven, in your eyes, so that we had that melody. And then when I got in with Stevie Appleton, he was like, instead of heaven, why don't you say starlight? So it was just like, I see starlight in your eyes till the sunrise. And we just had that, and it stuck with us forever. And then Stevie come up with another bit where it was, I can't get over you. And that was the gangster part. We always love something that's a bit more like groovy. Like if you hear like They Don't Know, you got that, I never been deep on it. Pause. But we always have moments where it's, the lyrics are a bit more cool, a little bit more groovy. All right, so I don't know why Duvall still has Logic because it's long, because I use Ableton and this is mad for me. So it took me about 10 minutes to learn how to press play. But so here we're gonna just solo certain parts from the guitar, which is amazing. So have a listen. You have to get that buck in there. I call that the emotion. That's the emotion of the guitar right there. So let's bring it about one. There's one more element that I really love. This is the part where it talks to you. Jesus. For me, that's the money. So yeah, you can tell the guitar really speaks to you on this record. Definitely, it's got its own emotion. You don't need much vocals to cloud that. So those three parts are the magic. You don't need a lot of guitars running at once, but if each part has space, you can definitely get a great groove. So literally on the day, Stevie was just like jamming. I told him exactly what I want, referenced it, played that out in my head.
I told him
Exactly like this.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
play it like this.
Play it like the fuck out. Shit. Do it again. Give me the fucking guitar. Let me do it. No. Literally got into the studio. I had loads of references in my head of what I wanted, and obviously the single notes that we played. And he was literally just jamming. So there's certain parts you hear that he was freestyling that I've just chopped up, taken it away, and just that's how I like to produce. I like to just take things away, give it to me. I don't like doing it in a session. I don't want anyone watching me. I just want to get it right. So it's going to take me a few days, but once it does come out, it normally sounds like gold. But yeah, that's how it happened. He just played live, and he just gave me the stems after. which is good. And there's also another part that he played, which was bloody amazing, the strings. So this string section was really nice as well that he added, a little ad pod here. That's it, wicked strings there. And then from there, the magic was made, man. And then you get into the dirty drums and dirty bass line and how we make it funk. And that's when these guys will start talking, because I've done enough.
Hello. Hi.
Hi.
Nice.
Cool. So yeah, Luke absolutely smashed it with the first session with Stevie and Callum. Heard the record and there was such rawness to it, and it did feel very Disciples-esque. And so he brought his stems to the studio. We normally work outside my studio, which is in Kent. There we can just be ourselves, drink a lot, talk a lot, go on to early hours of the morning, and make the thing happen. So one of the biggest challenges for this record was to figure out how to keep the funk element, but also make it club and radio at the same time. Like with a lot of our songs, it's trying to straddle all lanes at the same time, and it can be quite difficult. But I want to talk about the bass, which I really, really admire about this record. It took us a while to get this bass. Found this kind of like sample-esque, feels like Daft Punk in a way, loop that needed a lot of manipulation. And it sounds like this on its own.
Filter's hard.
So that was originally just one note. I think it was just this beginning note here. So we had to manipulate that into the notes that you hear just now, which took some time because there was a lot of chopping in between that we won't go into detail of how we did that. Can't release all of our secrets. But that's a special part for us, I think, because it gives it that nostalgia feel. But the secret to this record is the fact that it's two bass lines in one. It's not just one bass line. So that we consider probably the main chug-along bass, which is this. But there's another bass line underneath. And the reason why this one is special is because it came from a sound that we made probably, I'd say 8 years ago on a record called Mastermind. Mastermind, which is featuring Sir David Rodigan, and was championed also by Skrillex at the time. He played it a lot as well. And we thought, how are we gonna have this bass playing, but also add some gritty bass underneath without disrupting the first bass? And normally it's difficult to put two lines of bass into something and have them not fighting. So we managed to do this bass line here. So that's that bass line on its own, and that's good enough on its own, I feel, but it was lacking something. So we thought, how do we put these two together? And this is what it sounds like together. So that's two bass lines fighting together, and it sounds a little bit messy just hearing it on its own, but it's the drums that tie it all in together, and the tone of the drums is what's special about this record. Gavin's going to go into the drums, so I won't talk too much about them, but I just want you to hear them play with the bass line, because I think that's important.
That's the motherfucking grip, baby!
Yeah, so we were super happy about that. The bass, I feel took the most amount of time, because it's very rare that you have two basses playing at the same time.
It shouldn't really work.
It shouldn't work, yeah, but it does. And I think what we did, if you can see here, like, all right, fuck it. This is an 8-year-old bass line, so I don't mind telling you where it's from. So we chose Diva for the Rodigan bass line. So we call it a Rodigan bass line because Rodigan was featuring on that record, Mastermind. Go check it out if you haven't already. It's a sick vibe. So this is how the page looks. The one main change was basically the noise and the shape, and having them, if you can see, so here and here, and also bringing this down from 16 to 32, and having the attack very almost like nothing, but having the sustain slightly up as well, and having the sustain slightly up on the second envelope as well. Those are the two main things we did, and then on top of that, it's just adding a very standard decapitator. And I like decapitator because it's like it gets straight to the point, and it basically punches through any other sound that you're trying to mix it with. If you use decapitator, you can really punch through with bass sounds and also drums. Try not to use it on drums because we try and find the best samples possible to not have to do too much too. But with bass, it needs a bit of help, especially because it's the muddy side of music, and it's the low end EQ, which is actually quite mathematical how you have to mix it. So I love using the Sound Toys stuff, and I just turn the drive up really, and just bring the low cut just down a little bit, tone up slightly, and that normally does the trick. You can go in more with these other elements too, which brings it out even more. But as I said before, this bass needed to work with the other bass, so it needed to have its own distinction, but without interrupting that first bass. That's how it looks. And then also, as a standard trick that a lot of dance producers use, we're ducking it beyond the kick. So if I play the kick and the second bass line on its own, you should hear the ducking. Yeah, so it's kind of going in between the kick.
Right, so how did we make the drums? I really don't fucking know. Because honestly, I actually was saying earlier, I kind of forgot the process, because sometimes it kind of at this stage rolls into one, because we do so many different versions of the tune that it kind of, you kind of lose a bit of track. The initial idea of the guitars, the bass sound, and the vocal before it got re-recorded by Duvall is the sort of like meat and potatoes of it all. And then from what happens when we have that to the 7 versions later is always a little bit of a blur. And that was when these came in. But yeah, the drums sound like this. All together. And then with the track. So it kind of gives it like a disco funk live feel, you know. I think that kind of comes from us. We're all quite influenced by our parents. From like the early like MJ stuff, like the Motown sort of era. Yeah. Like the Quincy Jones stuff, and like, and I think that comes out a lot, especially in our later era of disciples, like from like 2019, 20. So yeah, that's when this sort of this sort of live thing kind of speaks to us, and it just fitted perfectly in this sort of track. So
that breakdown.
I see starlight in your eyes to the sunrise. Starlight in your eyes to the sunrise.
Straight MJ.
I see starlight in your eyes to the sunrise. Starlight in your eyes to the sunrise.
Make it a bit of a house. And then give him a fucking kick, man. You gotta give him the kick. It's dance music, isn't it? So live though, it's like an indie kind of dance thing. You know, we could really have gone
funk.
Yeah, like a bit more slapping with it, but we like to keep it quite live. Maybe too live. No, we'll keep it. It's it just keeps that authentic feel, and all together, this is what you get.
I see stars.
Like when I was playing it way here, I was like, my headphones started. I was like, if it gets played radio consistently,
should do.
The most important part of it all that sort of brings it all together is, I think, the glue is this.
that definitely lets you know the chorus is in.
It is important though. You need to hear the impact.
Shut up.
Sometimes the simplicity is the important part.
Shut up. Luke, I'm going to say Luke very rarely picks up the pen for me, for my vocal, but when he does, he creates magic. So case in point would be
On
My Mind. He wrote that for my vocal, and then we all got in together and finished the song. And when he created this with Stevie and Callum, Stevie was singing the demo, and then Luke was like, "You've got to sing it. You've got to sing it." And Gavin was pushing me to sing it as well. So it just fits so perfectly. We actually shifted it up one semitone just to hit that sweet spot, the same as On My Mind. And yeah, the vocals, I don't really like singing unless the song is just so perfectly hits my voice, and it's quite hard to get that. But I think with Gavin and Luke in the studio, they just know exactly what my voice should sound like. So it's nice having them around to kind of give me that confidence to sing.
We're not going to make you sing like Barry White.
You
know them guys, like today, let's try something different.
I don't mind.
Let's do barrel tone.
So what's on here? So this probably won't stay like this in terms of like the effects and stuff, because we actually have Mark Ralph do a lot of the mixing with us and for us, because we like to get the song finished and then figure out how it's supposed to sound at the end. As long as the demo form sounds how we like it, we know the mix is just going to bring out extra 10%. But to get the session flowing quickly, we like to throw some stuff on real quick. So I started to use this Xvox, which I kind of like. It's interesting. It's
not as good as CLA.
I don't think it's as good as CLA, but when you're in a session, right, and you need something quick, I think there's nothing better than this thing here. You can mess around with the dynamics, the tones and the space and the effects, but I would just literally, just up here, just filter through however many you want to filter through until you get the sound right, just for the session. It doesn't mean it's going to end that way and that's the way the vocal's going to sound, but to get the session moving, because the most important thing for me in a session is not to slow down the momentum. That's super important. Sometimes producers and writers, they spend too long on the kick drum or spend too long on the sound or something, and then you end up losing the energy that was once in the room. So I think that's an important tip that we learned over fucking 17 years of doing this. So, and I always love to use Valhalla. Valhalla Vintage Verb for me is just a no-brainer. I have it quite low down in the mix, but quite high in the decay. For my voice, which is more falsetto, I think that works perfectly. Everything else pretty much down, the shape down, this down as well. And I don't really mess around with the mod or the EQ. I don't really care about that shit. And then always roll off the bottom end. And I don't use anything. I don't use fab filters and all that shit. I just use whatever Logic gives me. And people will say, oh yeah, but you should use like the new stuff that's coming out. Well, we made amazing records without all that stuff. So yeah, cool. Use all the new stuff that's coming out, but at the same time, if it works, don't break it. No, what's the saying? If it
ain't broke, don't fix it.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah. So we rolled off a shit ton of stuff until it just sounds good. And I love this part of producing because a lot of people think that, oh, you know, these guys are pretty good. They must have some sort of secrets. No.
The answer to that is no.
No, we just like we move stuff around until it makes sense to all three of us. However we get there is how we get there. I mean, we've been known to throw like CLA guitar on vocals just because. Do you know what I mean? Like, it might sound good, it might not. The whole point of studio sessions is to experiment and to not do what you've been told to do from some fucking course. You know, that's really important as well. So, yeah. So anyway, the vocals sound something like this, and then Luke's vocal is here as well, which actually gives it the On My Mind tone. So all of it together sounds like this.
I can't get over you. Oh no, I can't get over you. Ooh, I can't get over you. Oh no, I can't get over you. Ooh. can't get over you. Ooh, I can't get over you. Oh no, I can't get over you. Ooh.
Another thing, yeah. So with Luke's voice, I actually like to strip silence his voice. So like, what's strip silence? So like, how do I explain that? So there's a lot of noise in between. There's a lot of like, he's got a big mouth, so there's a lot of noise in between his takes.
Let them know what songs that big mouth done.
Done Daylight, done They Don't Know.
That's right. Don't forget How Deep Is Your Love Vocoder, motherfucker.
He's on
don't
How Deep
forget
Is Love
that,
vocoder. So I know how to treat his voice, but all these bits where there's nothing in between, it's just basically strip silencing it. So
I can't get over you.
So most people are like, well, that sounds wrong, right? Yeah, it does. That's why we did it. So if you mix that with other vocal takes, right? So you have this kind of jump start juxtaposition where you've got the actual take and then you've got these bits in between that kind of do this.
I can't get over you.
That's the main one. But in between that, you've got these ones that are kind of like cut up. So it gives one take. So you can see I've got like stacked vocals here. So I've got like 5 or 6 different takes, and they all, I don't ever do like people do like vocal line to get everything perfect. Why? Like, what's the point? You want it to sound as natural as possible, right? Look, that doesn't line up at all. I look drunk doing that shit. I probably was drunk doing it. But
it gives it feeling.
But I just feel like it gives it so much feeling, like when you don't vocalize stuff, when you don't melodine stuff, when you just take the rawness of what was given to you and you try and make that stuff work. So altogether, it sounds.
I can't get over you.
So you
sounds alright, to be fair.
Yes. So you won't hear all the cuts in between, but I know they're there, and I know that it gives it this kind of like push and pull feeling. So yeah, that's some of the techniques we use, and then obviously panning left and right on some things, leaving the lead vocal the front and center, and always having a double. So like this is the lead, and this is the double, and these are all the bits in between. And that's how I like to treat his voice. And his voice is so boomy. Gavin also does a lot of backing vocals as well. His voice is extremely heavy. It's heavier than mine.
Am I in this? I can't even remember.
You're not actually. Maybe you are.
I might be at some point. I'm sure I hollered on the microphone.
Maybe I didn't use it.
Get over you.
This is just Luke on this one.
Okay.
But you are on the others. Yeah, but so Luke's voice super, super gritty, super low. My voice super, super high, super female. And Gavin's voice is even lower than everyone else's. It's very tricky to get his voice right, so we don't often use it.
Every night.
He was on my mind as well, yeah. So we always stack vocals that look so messy. So Mark Ralph, our mix engineer, has a nightmare trying to figure all this stuff out, but I don't care. It's his job.
Big up, Mark.
Big up, Mark. So yeah, that's basically the beauty of our vocal recording. So it's not too many secrets, to be honest. It's just whatever works. So we're like, fuck it, let's bring people a guitar solo and let's make it sound sick. So this is what it sounds like completely. Yeah, so you don't really hear that anymore. So when he brought that to the studio, I think it was going to be one of the things we cut out, but it was just so bold and like, who the fuck does that anymore?
Yeah.
So we kept it, and then we threw some CLA guitar on there. I love CLA. Again, it's another one. CLA, Chris Lord stuff is another one in session. I don't mean to like use this to say this is the final mix down, but in session, it's the fastest tool to bring about some sort of vibe. That's how I use it. So it's not, I don't personally say, use this for your mix and make sure it's this, that, and the other, and make sure you got like the low up and the bite that, nah. It's just like whatever sounds sick at the time, use it. And if you need to change it in the mix stage, then you change in the mix stage. But I feel like Chris Lord does it perfectly with his tools.
So yeah. To cut you on that bit, you see the next section?
Yeah.
The next section there.
Oh, where you cut it up?
Yeah, where I cut it up.
Yeah.
Even after these cut ups here.
Yeah.
That have been recut up.
Yeah.
There's this section that I just cut up and thought it would sound better for a build.
Yeah. So
So that whole section, bam, 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 was actually just a section of a freestyle that I just found. I was like, that section could be good for a build up. Think about playing a kit. Do we have a kick drum in that section?
Yeah.
Also talk about that section as well. You know, that's my favorite section.
Oh, this bit.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm not perfect with drums. I think that's like more Gavin and Luke, but with this particular section, it took me all day. And it's basically a drum fill that I basically made out of whatever was given. So I wanted something that felt quite live and quite in the moment, to bring us back down to the I can't get over you, that kind of hook. So it doesn't show that I edited here. Though.
And it's perfect because it only happens once in the track as well.
Yeah, it only happens once in the track. So placing these kicks where I wanted them, placing the hats where we wanted them, keeping the tambourine moving, and also editing this part. Sorry, I don't have the breakdown of this, but editing this part actually took longer than you thought, because it's not just about having a drum fill there, it's about having the right drum fill. So this is what it sounds like all together with just the drums. And then you add the crashes and the effects to that too. And then we cut up the strings so they don't interrupt as well. So you hear strings. And then what else is there? And then the bass, I'm sure, does something crazy.
I feel like everything in that section does something to make it all great.
Yeah. And then all together sounds like
I can't get over you. Oh no, I can't get over you.
a few other elements as well.
Elements.
There's some of these that Luke brought in, and we kind of brought them to the forefront. Again, the layering side of it is what we love to do, but it's not the stuff that's heard on record. Like as simple as having the crackle, you can't really hear that, but
if you're going to make a disco record or funk, you have to have a vinyl crackle or something vintage in there.
Yeah, that's important. Again, it's stuff that you don't hear, but you can feel it. These guitars with the effects on them as well.
There's quite a lot of guitars. I missed that, sorry.
Yeah, and Rode keys as well. But the trick also with that is actually not to put any reverb on them. So they are ducked as well. You can hear like a tremolo effect, but there's no reverb on them. I think with the more reverb you add, the more disco it becomes. The less, like if you think of Pause's one of his latest record, Too Close to Be Careless.
Yeah, Too Cool
That
to Be
one,
Careless.
Too Cool to Be Careless. Like everything, a lot of his elements in his production have no reverb on them, and that's obviously a conscious choice to do that. But what it does, it makes the whole record more urgent, and it makes it feel newer. The more reverb you put on something, the more you drown it out, the more it sits back in the mix, and the less bold it becomes. So we really work on not putting reverb and delays on everything. Yes, they are on the vocals. I think that's cool. But when it comes to the production, if it sounds sick and it's clean without reverb, don't put anything on it, and that's what makes people stand out, I think, personally.
It leaves space as well. Like the more reverb and delays you put on everything, and because we like layering stuff, if you put reverb on everything, there's going to be no space in the frequencies for the vocals.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like taking that out just creates a lot more dynamic.
Good point. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And then we use Repo 5 to create some really weird sounds as well. I like the Yuhi stuff. It's stuff I don't really see people use anymore, which is why I guess we like to use it. yeah, it's pretty basic stuff, to be
A lot of the
honest.
underground producers use it as well, and that we use it in commercial songs is probably why a lot of underground people, when they see us, they show us love. I've noticed that from a lot of producers. They might not play our records, but they're always like, "Oh, we love your songs," and you're like, "Really? I didn't think you would ever listen to Disciples," but it's because they hear little ear candy things that we'll put in the production
Hmm.
that they'll be like, "Oh, that's something they would have put in," because they use these plugins.
Yeah, there's another layer here which I'll take off some of the effects on it, which is from I like Zebra 2 as well. It's pretty cool. It's what it sounds like.
Given they don't know kind of vibes.
Yeah, it gives
Eerie.
it that eerie. We spend a lot of time trying to find eerie but
sounds.
uplifting sounds, which is kind of like an oxymoron, right? Like, how can it be eerie but uplifting? But I think we spend a lot of time fiddling with this kind of stuff to make the sounds that you hear today, and then we just throw on things like tremolo just to give it that even more eeriness to it, though. Yeah, and it's really low. It's really low in the mix. You wouldn't even notice it there. You might notice it now that I pointed it out, but it comes in here.
I see starlight in your eyes till the sunrise.
Yeah, so there's a lot of layers like that in the record, but I think we find that after we got the meat of the record, right? We've got like the bones and stuff, and then just fleshing it out with things like that is, I guess, what gives us our signature sound.
Okay, another important part of this program is that Nathan's voice is one of the key parts to Disciples. He's vocaled a lot of our records, and he has that tone that just makes anything sound radio clean, cut through, give the weekend a run for his money kind of thing. But
Jesus,
on
wow.
this record, when Stevie Appleton helped write the records, they've got quite similar voices. So I heard Duvall's voice in this record straight away. So I kind of knew he would murder this when he got on the mic, like in a good way. So yeah, have a listen.
I can't get over you. Oh no, I can't get over you. Ooh, I can't get over you. Oh no, I can't get over you. Ooh, I see starlight in your eyes till the sunrise. I see starlight in your eyes till the sunrise.
Actually sounds hard.
Yeah, and as you can tell, it's just like absolute gold the way he just floats on that, even without the beat. So let's play the beat now, and you can hear.
I can't get over you. Oh no, I can't get over you. Ooh, I can't get over you. Oh no, I can't get over you. Ooh, I see starlight in your eyes till the sunrise. I see starlight in your eyes till the sunrise.
Yeah, you get the gist, but definitely one of the key parts. I think if anyone else sung this, they wouldn't have got it how Duvall did. So it's key for us to always keep our style, and that is that we sing our own vocals, make the beats, etc., etc. We have help from outside, but most of the time we just have fun.
Mm-hmm.
We have fun, and if it needs us on the track, if it needs me to vocal it, if it needs Nathan to vocal it, if it needs Gavin to put his vocal on it, we have fun in there. And if we need it to be outsourced, we get other singers. But the main thing, kids, have fun with your beats, man.
Yeah,
That's
have
true.
fun with your beats. Yeah, never lose that love, man, because all we ever do is have fun with the music process, because that's the fun part.
Mm-hmm.
And then the business gets involved and makes it all boring.
So true.
Do you know what I'm saying? That process is key. I know this is something where we talk about music tech, etc. But one of the main keys before all the music tech is a love for it. You gotta love processing. You gotta love cutting vocals. You gotta love making beats and finding the right samples, dishing out the wrong samples. That you can sit down on a computer for hours. I've spent days sitting there just getting lost in samples, but that's the love. You've got to do it. And if you don't do that, you're not gonna make it, kids. All right, cool. Peace. All right.
Nice.